Well, hey there, everybody. It's Val, and welcome back to Gnomoria, episode 10. Let's see. Where shall I begin? We're still using version 0.9.2.1, so there's nothing changed in that regard. And, of course, we are playing Valrubia. Last episode, we had 10 battles. And we won all 10, which was awesome. I was so happy. Nobody died, and I think we've got 4 sets of armor built, bronze armor, and I've even started the search for iron, so that we could potentially start collecting steel armor, or stuff to make steel armor. Now, I just wanted to mention that I decided that this will be the last Gnomoria live stream. The main reason for that is the game is in a period right now where it's fairly slow, both to watch and to play. And while I personally enjoy playing it, and I could, play the slow part, for quite a long time, it's not that interesting to watch. And it's basically more of the same of what you've been seeing so far. We probably have about another, at least another 6 hours, or basically 2 more live streams before I think we could reasonably start thinking of making traps and things like that. So for this episode, what I wanted to do was hopefully get them to start doing the research for tinkering, so I can show you how that works. And hopefully they'll be able to research at least one thing, so I can also show you how it works with showing up in the shops that the tinkering works with. But in the meantime, I hope that you have been having a nice start to winter. Winter's not my favorite season, I will freely admit that. It can look awesome with the snow, particularly those days where you have icicles basically covering the trees, so when the light hits them, it's like they're made out of crystal. But those days are far and few between. And, anyway, okay, enough sidetrack. Let's just take a quick look at our countryside here to refresh our memory. My memory. It's because I did a recording session yesterday with Zajura, so I may say we and us a lot because she does that. I gotta stop saying Very hard habit to break. Very hard. I do my best, but I know there are days when I am chock full of ums. Today, hopefully, is not one of them, but we will find out. Okay, so we are on the 5th day of spring. Looks like we do have a merchant. I believe, yes, we had just finished doing all our shopping for the season, which means that pretty much it's back to making armor. And let's just get them doing their thing. I do believe we had a couple of areas that we were looking at. Yes, I looked around for that iron that we were wanting. And I didn't do any digging, I didn't play, I was just scrolling around the map, which is pretty boring to watch. And I could only find something on level negative 52, so let's go down there. That is going to take a while to get to. And I said it was in the middle top, so that means it's over here somewhere. Or was it down here? For some reason I keep thinking it was down here, which of course is not the top. No, that was lead middle top. Iron ore, level 56, 57. I was looking at the wrong thing. Oopsie. 56 and 57. Lower right hand corner. Lower right hand. Well, this... Okay. Gotta zoom in because I'm blind as bat. Blind, I say. Oh, there. That's probably it there. There we are. There's our iron. I don't know why I listed 56 and 57. I can only see it on... Oh, is that it there too? Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we probably have a vein on 2 levels. But that's what iron looks like. If you were wondering. And we will see. I don't know if I will try to get to it today or not. Simply because it's, well, it's very deep. And if I do recall, we are not anywhere near that deep. We are on minus 33. Were we any deeper than that? No, that was our level. We found some coal. Yes, we were basically... I remember now. I was digging around trying to expose these ravines so that we could have a look around for iron. And I did that, and I found some iron. It's very low, very far away. So, that said, let's go back here. And let's see. I believe we're working on our 5th set of metal armor. Yes, we are, because we got the 5 bronze helmets built. Oh, we've already got those, so we're waiting for the breastplate. Okay. Good to know. And... yes, so that's probably what she's... hopefully, if not building the breastplate, then at least working on the armor plates for the breastplate. So we'll see. And I believe I was going to drop the number of bronze bars because we had just upped it while we were waiting for them to... let's set it to... oh, let's set it to 8. Yeah, basically, when we had downtime, we were getting them to build a whole mess of bronze bars. So that... that we could start making the armor. And I believe our weapons are not doing too bad either. Melee, yep, 20 hand axes, 20 hammers. And what were we asking them to build? 20 and 22, so actually... yeah, let's wait till that 5th breastplate gets built. Then we can look at building more weapons, and since the merchant is here, we can potentially sell off some of the poorer quality ones. And actually, in preparation for that, let's have a look at how many poor quality things we have. Sorry for clearing my throat so much. I am potentially coming down with a cold, and I'm hoping I'm not going to sneeze, cough, or clear my throat too much. I'm hoping it's just a transient allergy, which I do have on occasion. And I'm certainly not going to find my list of armor by looking at the merchant, am I? Alright, let's do it this way too. There! Now we can actually see a little bit more. Another question is, where, oh where? Okay, so we have the poor bone stuff. But, so how much bone stuff? We have 6, 7... I did sell off some of the poor bone stuff already, I believe. At the end of last live stream. So I do check comments on occasion. I try to look over there, at least glance over there every, 5 minutes or so, but if I'm really involved in something, then I might, forget. But, so if you post a comment, don't be offended if I don't answer it right away. Depending on which screens I have uppermost, I may not see your comment for a few minutes, and I apologize for that, but that's just the way it works. Right. They're probably right there in front of my eyes, aren't they? Well, here's the heads. That's all very nice. But we were looking for the... Get a drink here, maybe that'll help with the throat clearing. Oh, here's the armor. I see it now. Poor bronze gauntlet, poor bronze boots. Well, that's the armor. We don't want to sell off the armor. But the hammers are right there. Okay. Okay, so we got 8 poor bronze hammers. We have a lot more hammers than that. Are those just the ones that are lying around? I do not know. I thought it listed them all. But maybe it does not. Huh. Alright, well... Then I'll go back to my previous thought, which was to go to my military, go to the squads, and what squads do we have? Got our Heroes of Valrubia, we have the woodcutters melee and the miners melee. Right, civilian melee, just refreshing my memory. Woodcutters melee, okay. And the regular fighters, I set them to bone and leather, axe and hammer. Alright, well, now that I see what I've done here, we can go to the... Let's see, there's bone and leather, no arms, but I don't believe we're using mostly these 3 right now. So, civilian fighter, woodcutter, has their own uniform. Right, bone and leather melee. So let's start with them. Bone and leather melee would be you. And so what we want to tell them, yes, we want them using... Don't really need to set the type of material since we only have the one. And I want them to have at least average. So, there we go, at least average. And the same thing with the hammers. And then if we go to these guys, and we don't care about the felling axe at this point. We want them to have at least average on their hand axe. And the miner, same thing. And last but not least, let's just double check the Heroes of Valrubia. Plate mail melee, that's the formation, which uses... that's grab bag fighter. And I have a feeling grab bag fighter uses grab bag armor. Yes. Oh, that's very poorly spelled there. Maybe I can correct the name. It would be... There we go. Right. So, let's set these to at least average. And at least average. So that should mean the guys who have the poorer quality should be dropping them and rushing off to get something of better quality. So we'll give them a little bit of time to do that. And we will also... let's see what she's up to. She's hungry. Well, she's crafting an item. Require craft missing ingredients. Oh, you can't really see what she's doing though. So what are you doing? Taking you a while to make that. Well, of course I've been in screens that have paused the game. No wonder it's taking her a while. When she's made that 5th breastplate, then we will up the number of weapons. Bronze hammerhead. Alright. So what have we got here? There's our 5th breastplate. Awesome. We don't have 5 people in our squad yet, but that's alright. Alright, weaponsmith. Let's get you busy. Actually, if I sell off a couple of the trash, it would be nice if you could filter this list. I know I keep when I'm going through, I'm saying, well, it'd be nice to have this, it'd be nice to have that. And I'm not bashing the game. It's under development. It's in beta, so they will be adding things there. It just, that's why I tend to make those comments, because it's like, well, you know, they might add it. Not that they're necessarily watching this. Just that in the future, irregardless of whether they are aware that Val made a comment, and they mostly are not aware, that they would potentially add those features. But let's get out of the food area, and let's find the... here we are. Right. So that one's worth 50, so it's poor, but it's not quite as poor as these ones. So, let's see, if we sell these... don't know if I want to sell all those off. Okay, so we have, what, 22 population? Or about there. And we have 4 or 5 that are not... so we need maybe 15. Let's sell off 6. That should be pretty safe. So that gives us 496. Boy, that's really close to letting us purchase something to slaughter. Like one of these. Not that we need the meat necessarily, it's just that it's a way to get rid of the items in a way that's meaningful. Looks like we already bought all the ores, so that, and I don't want the malachite at this point. Don't really need anything else from the list, so we will do that. And we need 4 from something else. Let's see if we can find a crappy sandwich or something to sell. A poor yak sandwich. Well, that's not quite poor enough, but let's sell that. And something that's worth 1. A poor ogre sausage. Yes, just sell one of those. And we are going to trade. There we go. Wonderful. That yak will be sent to the slaughterhouse fairly quickly, in theory. Probably already gone. I missed it, didn't I? Possibly. What have we got here? A worn copper helmet. Oh, that's probably from something that was butchered, isn't it? Right, so since we sold those off, that means that they are going to start making more weapons to replace them, and hopefully they'll be better quality. And we are going to... Now the question is, if we continue to make bronze armor, we can sell off the poor quality ones. So should we do that? Yes, let's start on a 6th one. It'll be a while before we have need for that. Although it would be nice if we got like, you have received 8 nomads at the beginning of the next season, but that's not too likely. I think the most I've ever gotten was 6, and that's usually at the beginning of the game. Granted, that was in older versions, and perhaps that's been tweaked. I do not know. So let's just keep an eye on our metal stocks. Goods. Metal ore. Okay, we've got lots of copper, lots of tin. We're good. Now, that said, let's think about setting up that tinkering bench. And I can tell you a little bit about it. Well, you start out by not going there. You go to the build menu. Going in the right place will actually help. Right, so let's go to the tinker bench. We need a wrench. So I believe, let me just check my list and see who makes, which one I need to make a wrench. Let's see. Engineer shop. No, so it's probably the machine shop. Yes, it is the machine shop. So these are the 3 shops that are associated with each other. The tinker bench, which is basically a research bench. The machine shop, where you build parts for things that are then built in the engineer shop, if I recall correctly. So we need to build ourselves an engineer shop. And where are we going to put it? Well, let's see. This is kind of getting full here. But this is where all the ore and stuff is kept. So... yeah, let's go like this. Okay, so once that's built, then we won't need it for a while yet, but I'll build the engineering shop anyway to show you, because we're going to have to tell this to build a wrench. And I believe we have to wait for the other parts to be built, the workshop or the workbench and whatnot anyway. Oh, here comes the chair. And oh, it's built. Okay. Alright. Do not accept jobs. I don't like you doing that. So, we want to build a wrench. And let's build it out of bronze. Go ahead and build a wrench. And we'll set it to craft 1. And we'll just leave it like that. Now to build... let's see, the tinker bench. So we have to wait for a new chair and workbench as well. And the engineer shop needs a wrench. Tinkers needs a wrench. Okay. Alright. So we're just wait on that. Let's see what we got the priorities of these set to, because I think I had tweaked the priority when we were... Yeah. We can go ahead and set those back to the standard. Because right now it doesn't matter so much what order they make them in, because we have, in theory, plenty of stock. That is the arms and armor parts. And I do, in fact, have melee parts, ranged parts, and... Okay, so I don't... Alright, let's find out where I decided to put the weapons. The melee weapons. In the weapon thing. Could we move there? Oh, so it's just down here. Alright. Okay, so in the stockpile we have some hammers and hand axes. Those are probably the poor quality ones. But the fact that they're sitting there is a good sign. That means that we didn't accidentally sell more than was actually being used. Which is good. Because we don't want our guys to be defenseless. We want them to have stuff with which to beat up the bad guys. Which are currently goblins, ogres, and mants. Actually, I'm surprised we haven't had an attack or two by now. We've been playing for 25 minutes and there's been no fights. Last time I think we'd had 2 or 3 fights by this point. Well, let's speed up time. That might help. I believe this is suspended. Yes, it's suspended because we have a lot of lumber lying around, so there's no point in having them chop yet more and more and more when we don't need it. Okay. So, just checking what we're going to do once we're out of spring and hopefully get more gnomes. We wanted to add our 5th soldier. We need to replace a builder because we lost, not last episode, but the one before, we lost one of our builders to a bear, I think. And potentially split out the responsibilities of the chef/brewer into chef and brewer as 2 separate gnomes. But all that depends on how many guys we get. And if we lose anyone. Which, knock on wood, will not occur. Don't mind the battles, just mind losing the gnomes. Makes me sad. Poor little guys. They're working so hard. Huh. I think perchance the carpenter, I'm gonna have him make some doors. Some wood doors, in fact. I think I'm gonna have him make doors. Oh, there it is. I was just looking for door. I should have been looking for wood door. And we're going to make them out of birch, naturally. And let's have him build 2. Keep 2 in stock, so I want to start putting doors in here. And birch doors are not worth that much. So they shouldn't inflate the value of our kingdom any more than building the armor has. Well, quite a lot less, actually. One piece of armor is worth 4 doors, I do believe. At least if it's poor quality. If it's better quality, it's even worth even more doors. And what is our population anyway? 22. I was right. Alright, so how you doing? I know I had you making more armor, leather armor, because we are... Actually, so what are we at? We have... So you're working on the further sets. Okay. So we have 8 sets of that type of armor. Not enough. Not enough at all. Bracer. Yeah, and I want you to... So, yep, you'll be busy for a while. What about you and your... Oh, yeah, because you would have been building... Yeah, so we can sell the poor quality ones of those off, too. Actually, I should go to the uniforms and set those as well. For the... I'll do it for both those. Actually, all 3 of these. All 4 of those. Okay, well, let's start with you. You can... There's so many... I don't even know if anybody's using this one anymore. Okay, before I get too crazy, let's just check how many we have actually made. Because I don't know how much I inflated the 36 skull helmets, 25 bone shirts. Yeah, we can do that. Not a problem. Right. Let's start with the miners. I want you to have at least average. And at least average. Let's get the wood guys. You can go at least average. And do you too? Alright, so that should cover our... Like I said, I don't believe we're using this one anymore. Because civilian fighters, bone and leather, axe and hammer. Yeah, they're using the melee. There is nobody unarmed anymore. Right. So we don't actually need to mess with that. So that means you are the armor. What do you have here? In your contents, you have 13 skull helmets and 13 bone shirts, which means, since the merchant, if we go to the right place, the merchant is still here, let's see what we can offload in terms of poorer quality bone stuff. Of course, must find it first. Is it near the bottom? Here we are. Okay, so these are the poors. Poor and poor. Poor, poor. Fine. Okay, so what does that get us? A whole 58. Alright then. So we've basically gotten rid of 9 helmets and 7 bone shirts. For 58. What do we want? Well, might as well take the birch logs. Looks like we already... Oh, let's take the pine logs. We can always use those. Let's... I think we already have some lapis, so... What if we take 4 of those? Let's add 1 more. And that's close enough. We'll do that trade. So let's go down here. We're going to check armor, bone, 27 skull and 18 bone shirts. Okay, I think that is plenty of helmets. So let's go to the bone carver. Let's change this to 26. And we'll say that's 26 too. So stops making skull helmets, Because we got more than enough for everybody. Enough so that we can sell off poor quality ones, and the bone shirts, we want to make sure there's enough decent quality ones for everybody. At some point, we will move them. Just from the value that they have, I believe that the leather helmet and the leather will be better, or leather breastplate will be better. And if I recall correctly, using like bear and ogre hides makes even better armor, leather armor, than, you know, the yak or the emus or the what's the other guys, alpacas. But I could look it up, but to be quite honest, right now we're not awash in leather armor, so I'm not going to really care at this point as to exactly what material it's made out of, just the overall quality of it. And since the skull, oh, let's see, what do we have here? We have, okay, so it looks like 2 goblins and 1 ogre. Alright. Okay, so, and let's go. Gonna go. Here they come. Kick their ass. Come on. Oh, let's set it back to normal speed, so if things go awry, which it does not appear, nobody even went for bandages. So does that mean nobody got hurt? Nobody got hurt. Wow, actually, given, yeah, guys, before you go too far, I would appreciate it if you would put these doors back. I think we can actually start increasing the value of our kingdom, because this is our 11th fight. We haven't lost anyone. I know that last live stream we had a few injuries, and I think one of them actually required a trip to the doctor to fix up, if I'm remembering correctly. But I think that means that since we're oh, again? Okay. They were just fixing the door. So much for that. So it looks like we got 3 mants. Alright. Go get 'em, boys. And girls. Yep, 3 mants. Actually, I was just thinking. Are they called mants because they're like man-like ants or something? Let's just take a look. This is as close as we can zoom in. I guess because they do look like they're standing on their hind legs, don't they? So, yeah, perhaps that's why they're called mants. Okay, somebody went for bandages. 1 mant down. Come on. Nobody die. Mants are harder. We haven't even seen any mant fighters. I think they're called mant soldiers, which makes sense given they're based on ants. Okay, all the mants are dead. And we have 2 injuries. Okay, so when the mants come, we're actually potentially could lose somebody. Like if they start sending 4 mants, we might actually lose someone. So, I think perhaps the wooden doors is about as far as I ought to go. Now, is everybody healed up? Oh, 1 person is still injured. And that means if they're still injured, they're probably going to go to the hospital. Let's see. No? You are... Oh, I guess they fixed themselves up with a bandage, alright. Yeah, they only used 2 bandages too, I think. Alright, well, let's see. Is this... That is suspended. Right, I suspended it because I didn't want them running out and getting animal bodies. at this point. And I think I have to... Yeah, okay, so you can do these goblins and the ogres because they're in a safe spot. So, go for it. In fact, there's quite a lot of bodies there. It looks rather messy. Alright, well, actually, that 2 fights in a row, that's not too bad. Alright. And I totally forget what we were doing, except for the fact we have a large amount of meat. And we have crates, so let's put them in there. Since we're about to get more. That's our meat overflow. This is our bones. Not the dirt floor, thank you, that's full. How's this one doing? That one is not quite full. Because they have been building things, so. Alrighty then. Oh! Ah, did not realize I hadn't put a box there for the mushrooms. So let's just... I can't cancel that one. They're all built. Okay. Fine. When you get another box, I would greatly appreciate it if you would place it there, so I don't forget again. Should have a couple of doors built, and we can probably place our... that's not what I want to do. This is what I want to do. We want our engineer shop. We do not have a wrench built yet. Excuse me. Yes, okay. I have nobody assigned to it, which would probably explain why nobody has built. So I need a machinist, engineer, tinkerer. So I have to decide who is going to get that job. These guys are pretty busy. Blacksmith or the miners. Let's give it to the... Yeah, let's give it to the blacksmith. And... so... you're going to want you to do machining. And you're also going to be doing... Are you going to be doing tinkering? You're pretty busy. You can do the engineering as well. Although that's minor. What am I doing? What am I doing? The wrong thing, that's what I'm doing. So we don't have enough gnomes to make an engineer, especially yet. So let's just do the machining and engineering on him. Yeah, both of those actually make sense because there's not going to be a lot to do there. Right now there's just a little bit of machine shop stuff to do. And we're actually going to make this a slightly higher priority because we would like to get this done. Another shop you can build is the prospector, which I think I already did, didn't I? I think we have a prospecting shop. No, we're getting the metal slivers. Is there a way to tell which ones I have built? I have 29 workshops. Right. Okay, we have no prospector shop. That's the other thing you can build, which is actually pretty cool. And let's find that. Yes, we can actually build that without a problem. And the prospector, we're going to put... Yeah, we will throw you over here. What you do with a prospector shop is you can tell them, yeah, you know all that dirt we have lying around, or all this extra stone? Yeah, just kind of crush it up and see if you can find any metal in it, or any gems. And sometimes they do. And they find metal as slivers. I think they can find gems. I don't recall ever finding one, so if it's possible, it's probably a much lower percentage chance. But you definitely can find metals. Not that we're using gems anyway. Once we're to the point where we want to trade for more ore, we could like set up a jeweler and have people cut up gems. 2 workshops. One to cut up the gems and polish them, make them look all shiny and pretty, and then the actual jewelry shop to make necklaces and whatnot. Strictly speaking, you don't need necklaces, or sorry, you don't need gems in order to make the rings and necklaces in the jewelry shop, because you can make them out of just the metal. But they are worth a lot more if you slap a gem in them. But right now we're trying to keep our overall worth to a reasonable amount rather than, you know, madly purchasing stuff which needs lots of trade goods. Right now we're producing more than enough trade goods. Alright. So, the prospector shop. So, like I said, you can take any stone. I don't think we have a lot of dirt because I think I've been selling it off. Well, let's look at the clumps. You can use clay clumps, or you do have a fair amount of dirt. So you can do it on the clay as well. I prefer to save the clay to make clay statuettes and stuff to sell. So you can do that. And I'm not really sure if Craft 2 does anything useful, simply because of the fact you're destroying the dirt clump in order to make, or to look through it. So I put them on repeat. And just in case they run out of that, oh, no, cancel that. I wanted basalt, of which we have a ton. Repeat. Now, like the engineering shop, we need to assign someone to do that, because if I recall correctly, there is nobody currently doing prospecting wherever it is. Oh, we have 2 prospectors? Who do I have 2 of that might potentially be doing prospecting? Well, let's look at the doctor. The doctor is someone I sometimes put in as a prospector. She doesn't have any misc crafts, so which is where you find prospecting. Not her. I can't see it being the woodcutter. Oh, maybe the arms and armor smiths, maybe? Yeah, that's who it is. So, like, if they're not doing anything else, they'll go over there and do some prospecting. So, it is nice to for those gnomes that you're keeping inside, that you do not want running outside, you know, so you've taken them off hauling, like I've done for my crafting gnomes, is you can give them the job of prospecting when they're, instead of sitting idle in the Great Hall. So, to do that, you probably want to build, you know, 3 or 4 prospecting benches just to keep them busy. Or you can set them to research. So that's the other thing. You could split it, maybe have 2 of each, and maybe make the research slightly higher priority, so they're more likely to go do that if that bench is open. And oh, somebody made a wrench. Don't know who it was. Whoever it was, good job. I guess I could actually look at the wrench itself and see who made it. Right, so now we can build our tinker bench. So let's go ahead and we'll leave a gap there because we're going to put the engineer right beside it. So let's put down a tinker bench. And this may sound strange, but the person that I like to give the job of being tinker is the doctor. Especially once I have a dedicated tailor. I like to go in here and, why not? The doctor is quite often idle if they're no longer needed for this work. The cloth, the weaving, and the tailoring. And so let's just see what we have for... Can I resize this one? Yes, I can. Okay. That'll make it a little easier. See them all at once. Right. Okay, so we have one tinkerer. And we want to look at the weaving and stuff. There we are. We've got 5 people weaving, 5 tailoring. So we have our dedicated tailor. So I do believe the doctor is no longer needed to do that work. Which leaves tinkering as her primary occupation when she's not being a doctor. Which, of course, means that I better double check that the doctor knows that doctoring is more important. Yep, hospital, then the workshop, and then other things. But for her, hospital and then workshop. Right. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so the tinker shop should be built soon. And then we can start looking at the Great Hall and see if we are having anybody lazing about for extended periods. This is our stonemason. Yeah, I guess our stonemason probably won't have too much to do if we're not telling them to build something. So let's look at our stonemason. Do I want to make our stonemason a prospector? Makes sense. I mean, role-wise, it would make sense they would do prospecting. Let's do prospecting, and I don't think I want to set him to do any research. Because the doctor's going to be there most of the time. So that's not really needed. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can go down to the prospector shop. I don't think that matters because it can't accept generated jobs, but we're going to set it to priority 6. So the other ones will take precedence. Because these should be all at 5. Unless I increased... Oh, you're at 6 too. Oh no, that's the prospector shop. Okay, never mind. Val's just getting confused. Right, 5. And this should be 5. 5. And pretty sure these are 5 as well. Yep. Double check that one, but almost certainly yes. Okay. So if there's stonework to do, the stonemason will do that. Otherwise, he's going to be over here prospecting. Okay. So our mushroom crate now has mushrooms in it. Well, eventually we'll have mushrooms in it because it doesn't really need to be high priority. Oh, you're full. Okay, so what are you... Is this full of meat already? No. Okay, it's just a case of people who do the hauling are, because it's spring, busy doing other things. So... I think you can say clean floor and click on that. Let's see what happens. Now, I was going to say something about the tinkering. Yes, tinkering. Unless it has been changed in the games where I have been doing tinkering, or got to the point of doing tinkering, you can have more than one tinker bench, and basically the progress bar is shared. So if you have two guys researching, they're in essence researching the same thing, and both their efforts combine into the one progress bar. Unless I'm hallucinating, which is always possible, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Which I thought when I saw it was pretty cool, because I was wondering when I set up the second one if they would be researching separate lines or if it would combine to be one. And look, telling them to clean that up actually did work. Excellent. I believe when you tell someone, or you set the cleanup thing there, basically you're saying, yeah, this is more important than the general hauling, so please do this right away. So I don't know if it takes precedence over other tasks than just hauling or not. Yes, there is a lot I don't know about this game. Part of that is because things are changing, and something I thought I knew will change, and then I won't obviously not know it anymore. But I think it's cool. I think that you can. It's awesome. This trend now of being able to do early access, buy games before they're ready to be released, and yes, you're paying to become an alpha and or beta tester, but on the other hand, you also get to play the games when they're new, still being worked on, and potentially have some input into the final product. Because if something really isn't working, you can say, hey guys, this mechanic you've got is just not working. And if you're not the only one saying that, they're going to listen, because they obviously want to sell a game that is fun and people want to play. So I think that's awesome. Me and my husband have actually purchased quite a lot of early access for different things. There's a couple of them that I may do live streams on at some point. I don't know. Oh, we're paused. Let's go. One of them is called Windborn. That's Windborn with an E on the end. I think it's Born, B-O-U-R-N-E, if I remember correctly. And there's Space Engineer. And I think those are the earliest stages of the ones that I have purchased. My husband has some in common with me. We both have Space Engineer, but he also has another one. We also have been contributing to Kickstarter projects as funds allow, and one of those was Chronos? Battle at Chronos? Something like that. That's one my husband has been checking out. I think he's been enjoying that one. That's coming along. And I think I saw it on Steam, so I don't know if it's in beta still or if it's actually released yet. But I know he was enjoying that one. So I highly recommend people who like games and spend a fair amount of money on games, check out Kickstarter. There are a ton of games out there. You have to be a little careful. Once in a while you'll get a project that doesn't, even though they get funding, doesn't get finished. But my understanding is so far that has been very, very rare. The chances of that happening are, I think last time I talked to somebody about it, they said maybe two of them haven't completed. They've actually said, it's not working out, we're not doing it. And of course, they're under no obligation to refund your money. And that's the risk you take. But that said, it also gives you a voice into what kind of games you want to see. So if there's a particular style of game, whether it's artwork or gameplay style, genre, that for some reason it's gone out of style, or the publishers think that people don't want them anymore, but you do, look on Kickstarter. You might find some of those games that you've been wishing they would make. And there's people out there, individual, small companies, indie companies, saying, hey, we would like to make this game. We just can't afford to. We need this much money to do it. And here's here's what we're planning to do, and you know, back those ones. If they don't make the funding goal, then you do not pay out that money. So when you commit, what you're saying is, if this project meets the funding goal, then this is the amount of money I'm contributing. And you know, then that when it's the funding period's over, and if they make their goal, then your account gets deducted. You know, whether I think we're using Amazon, and at that point it gets deducted from one of our credit cards. And then next time I'm paying the credit cards, I pay that. But yeah, I would highly recommend that. And of course, Steam has early access as well, which is sometimes they're actually projects that were on Kickstarter and now they're in early access. And again, what you're doing is you're contributing. You're saying, yes, we want to see more of these. I want to see more of this kind of game. This one looks fun to me. I know it's in alpha or beta or whatever stage it's in. And, you know, just be aware there's going to be bugs. Things are going to be changed. They might say this mechanic, it's not working. But it gives you an opportunity to give a lot of feedback and help make the games that you really want to play. So I think that I pretty much exhausted that topic, but as you can probably tell from the lack of ums and ahs in that particular speech, I'm pretty jazzed about this trend. It's excellent when the consumer has input into what is being produced. I think that can only end up well for the consumer. And of course, the people producing the games are going to sell more, so it ends up well for them as well. Really wish we could do something with mants. You know, like butcher them and get their carapaces or something, and then make armor out of them. I don't know if I want to eat ant meat, since ants are insects and don't really have meat. But their carapaces, I mean, they're man-sized and they're pretty tough, so those carapaces must be pretty good, armor-wise. There's a goblin head lying on the ground. Don't suppose you could do something about that. Let's take a look. Apparently not. Alright then. We will just try to ignore the fact that there's a goblin head lying on the ground. I don't suppose we could build... I know we can put heads on sticks, skull on a pole. Okay, we cannot use... we can only use yak skulls. Well, you know what? Let's build one. What the heck? And let's build... just to see what they look like. An emo skull. There we go. Let's put one on each side. They look the same, but that's okay. And while we're at it, we're going to try out... because I've been meaning to do this. They have wall torches. Now, disadvantage to wall torches is I believe they currently... oh? Well, let's try that. Let's let them place that skull, the one overworked builder, and we're going to try putting a torch right behind it. Because if that feature has been implemented, then you should be able to place a torch on the same... effectively the same square as something else sitting there. Which I think is awesome, because then you can have your torches not take up a spot. Oh, he's bringing the parts for it. Okay. So let's wait a moment, because then we can get rid of this one. We can put a torch... put torches here. Let's put a torch there. And... I think we need to deconstruct. We'll deconstruct that. And we have that light out here. Okay, so now you're building that. Excellent. That will hopefully let our enemies know that they are not welcome. And let's go for a birch torch again. And let's... No, I can't put it behind there. Okay, so that hasn't... The developer did say he is going to make it so you can put torches on the same... You know, on the wall behind something that's occupying a square, but it's obvious that you can't do it just yet. That's fine. I'll just do that. Not so much that we need the light there, but because I think it'll look nice. Right. Well, let's put out some birch doors if we're finished down here. Right. So there you can see Tinker Bench. We've got our doctor doing the research, and this is the invention progress. Once that bar gets full, then you'll get a message in the message area down here saying, in this case, who's this? This is Fizzwin. It'll say Fizzwin has invented this and that and the other thing. And then you can go to the machine shop and you'll see parts listed that weren't there before. And you can go to the engineer shop, which we can also build. Put it there. You can go there and you can use the parts that you made over here and build traps. Blade traps and dart. I think there's a dart trap, and we have guests. Oh, we have guests. There's apparently a mant antenna lying there. We have 5 guests. Oh boy. Let's see. 5 goblins. That's more goblins than we had before, so these extra workshops that we're building has attracted more. Okay, let's see if our guys can handle it. Right. Attack. Everybody's attacking. Go kick goblin posterior. And, oh, yeah, we've got to get through a goblin has been spotted phase. Come on, guys. We need more. Don't anybody die. And there's a honey badger out here. Go away. 1 goblin down. 2 goblins down. Somebody went to get a bandage. All the goblins, they're all down? Oh, there's 1 left. Okay. What do you think? We still have somebody injured? And we still have somebody injured. Well, I'm so excited. I'm clicking everywhere. Right. And okay, that was that 6 guys? Let's look at the butcher shop. 1, 2, 3. That was 6. Holy caramba! I thought that was 5 goblins. That was 6. Wow. Okay, let's see if somebody heads to the hospital this time around. Or whether it can be fixed with a bandage. Actually, in a way, I kind of hope somebody does go there, because then we can make sure that the doctor is leaving off... Oh, honey badger. No. No, you don't need the honey badger. Leave the honey badger alone. Yeah, the honey badger. See it? No. Leave it alone. Which reminds me. Doors. Doors. And doors. No. I told you no. Diamond. Is there any way for me to tell this guy, do not do that? I do not... You've killed 13 goblins. Well, that's lovely. You're supposed to be building a wall torch, not attack... Fine, if you're going to insist on attacking the honey badger, let's get these guys to help. If you die to a honey badger, I hope that your ghost will be red with shame. Alright. So, that's a wall torch. Look cool. Nobody died. Everybody's uninjured. This is good. I don't think I'm going to count that as a fight because it shouldn't have occurred, that honey badger. However, I am going to add the honey badger to the butcher list. Wow, yeah, 6. Looking back from last episode, I think that, yeah, that was our biggest fight, definitely. I think the most we had before was 4. 3 goblins and an ogre. 2 goblins, 2 ogres, and 4 goblins. Yeah, those were our biggest fights. This one, yeah, but much bigger. By 2. Apparently, news of the new workshops has spread. It made the goblins nervous. Oh, there we go. Now it's all lit up out here. I probably could deconstruct that, but it's actually lighting further in this direction, so yeah, we'll just leave it alone for the time being. Don't see any need to do anything about that. And oh, heavens, we have lots of wheat. We are doing good in the food front. No complaints there. Our drink, however, is not doing so well. Which is one of the reasons we need a brewer. Specifically to do that. How much stuff are you making? Sandwiches and mushroom omelets. Okay, so how close are you to being finished? That massive amount of food. Which I obviously ordered so that we could sell off the lesser quality ones. What am I looking for? Food! I'm looking for food. And we are looking specifically for mushroom omelets and sandwiches. And that would help if I was in the right menu. Dang it. Food. Can I? No, I can't open it. I can't make this window bigger. Alas. Right. No sandwiches and no mushroom omelets? No wonder you're cooking. So let's see. I mean, strictly speaking, you only need to make 2 of these before you can build these, so yeah, let's do that. Now, the reason that she's falling behind again is because we did get a few replacements last live stream, and obviously 1 cook is not quite enough to keep up. It makes sense. So we're going to set this back to, let's set it back to yeah, we'll do 10. Don't think she's going to get anywhere near 10. But we don't want her making so many of these before she can construct a better quality food. See, she made bread and these guys promptly snaffled the bread and ate it. We need another person to help. So, let's get time passing a little faster. Right, so we built our... You must be making another wrench. So this is the engineer shop. And right now we can build absolutely nothing. That's because it all requires parts that have to be discovered first. Both the parts and the finished product, obviously. So, I did set this one to... Yes, I did. And it's at priority 1. And let's set it back to priority 5 because, well, we got our extra bronze wrench sitting there, made by Aliyah. Poorly crafted bronze wrench. Oh well. I wonder. Never actually tried this before. No, can't. Oh, but you see we made some invention progress. Little tiny bit. I was wondering if you could actually look at the parts that made up this to see what the quality was, so you can say, well, I should just deconstruct that and rebuild it with a better wrench when I've got one. But I think the only way you can tell it is just by looking at the overall value of it, which you can't see here either. Okay. Can I see it in here? Available space. I think you can only tell by the efficiency. This one does not have an efficiency. Okay. So, out of curiosity, what's the efficiency of this guy? 85% efficiency. And the stonecutter. 95%. So that one's better. That one obviously was had better parts going to it, I would assume. You have been a busy bee. Quite busy. And you're still busy. That's okay. How much are you making? 26 and 26. Yeah, that gives enough wiggle room. So what have you been finding here? You found silver sliver. Okay. And is this our sliver box? That's our serpentine block box. Bars. Metal slivers. There we are. Just wanted to see contents. Oh, a malachite sliver. That definitely came from the prospector's bench. Probably the tin sliver too. The bronze, probably. And the coppers, those probably came from melting down worn armor. 9th day of spring. You know what? Let's see, let me look at my notes about the mushroom farm. Mushroom. 6th day of spring. Spring water floods. At least it did in the test world. And apparently we're now on the 9th day of spring, and I do not see any flooding happening. I mean, it did originally when we did this, but the water level just isn't high enough. Maybe... I really don't know. Because you would have thought that it would... Yeah, well, I mean, we're getting mushrooms, so that's not... The mushrooms really aren't the issue. We've got... Well, not a ton of mushrooms, but we have some. Yeah, we don't have a lot of mushrooms, but... Well... I'll give it to the end of spring, and if it still doesn't flood, then I guess we'll go down one level and try here. To have a properly functioning farm. Or we could dig over here. Wonder if a water channel from this would... Because if you look at the water level, I think we might flood ourselves out if we did that. The water's down here. This level? No, maybe. Don't know. Really don't know. Haven't quite figured out the optimal level for the mushroom farm. And I think it might actually vary based on the map, and it might even vary based on the size of the water you're funneling into it. So it might just be the case that we don't have enough water. So what do you think? I think I should dig that out. Let's put a door here first before I do that. Just in case. At least I hope the door will stop the flood somewhat. Yeah, let's put a stone door here. Okay. Alright, so now the question is, if we dig it to here, then these are sheer walls here, so there's no way for any nasties, even if they fell in the water, could climb up. So, alright, well let's dig this out and see if we've just made a okay, so what we want to do is we actually want to dig it so it floods through this way. So that means... Okay, how am I going to do this? How are we going to do this? Well, I suppose we could go this way? Maybe try that. Because in theory, if it's gonna flood down this way. And it'll come through there, and hopefully you'll get some in here. Because I can always put the wall back. I'm hoping. Let's put this on normal speed. And we're actually going to zoom in too. Because this might have been a very poor choice on my part. We will find out. Our miners should be there pretty quick. Digging through. And just in case, I'm going to have the build soil wall command ready. And we're going to put it there. Or at least... Okay, let's see. Come on. Oh, here comes the builder. Put that wall in place. Come on, before it floods too far. It is hydrating. This is nice. We might want to take that wall out again later, but for now, it's not going to flood very far, is it? Okay. But you can see the water. It goes and it comes back and goes and comes back. That means it's slowly emptying into here. So, hurry up. Get that wall in place. We only want it coming in at one spot right now. Because worst case, we can block it off again. Okay, so let's see what happens. It is filling this up. So that's awesome. That's what I wanted it to do. Again, since this is such a huge pond, this may flood further than we think. Further than I think. Zajiri is not here today. Actually, you want to know something odd? I was recording, if you've watched episode, is it 51? You would have noticed that I used voice commands to do shouts. And my husband said that when I record Zajira, I change my voice. Now, I don't know if that's true. If it is, it's not intentional. He thinks I'm changing my voice. But my voice command program was... what's the word I'm looking for? Optimized to my normal speaking voice, which I thought I was using for Zajira. Well, when I went to in an episode that I recorded recently to actually use the shout, and I tried to you should be able to activate the shout just use one, because they have 3 levels, up to 3 levels once you've got them unlocked. I should be able to just say Thoom and have it happen. And that would just be the first level of it. Well, I said Thoom, and unless I said the full Thoom Bra Mal, which is all 3 levels, the voice command was not recognizing that I was saying Thum. It was only when you got all three parts, it went, oh, okay, you're saying Thum Gra Mal. And so I started thinking, well, maybe my husband is right. Maybe Zajira does have a slightly different voice than my normal speaking voice, even though it is totally not a conscious choice on my part. But I thought that was pretty cool that she had developed her own voice, if that's the case. And the evidence certainly tends to indicate that is what's happening. So either that, or I've totally forgotten how to pronounce Thum Gra Mal and Thum by itself, because it's been so long since I used that. I only play Skyrim when I'm recording for Zajira, because I do not want to refresh my memory of quests. That's also the same reason I tend not to watch Skyrim, other people's Skyrim videos. It's however much I enjoy them, and I do enjoy quite a lot of them, or I did before I started doing my own series. I do not want to refresh my memory of the quests, because the more genuine my reaction is, the better I think it is, and for the episodes when I'm recording. Anyway, point being, it has been a long time since I've used the voice commands, which is why when I was recording, I think it was 2.051, when she first uses it, there was that big hesitation before me doing the first part of loading Unrelenting Force and then actually using it. And that was simply because I was like, oh, right, what do I have to do again? It's been so long. It's been, 8 months? 9 months? It's been a long time. And you forget. But we have mants. I should stop babbling about Zajira and Zajira's travels, which, if you are only watching the Gnomoria stuff and you haven't checked out Zajira's travels, I don't know how to put this. I don't want to say, yes, watch it, you'll find it fabulous, because you might not like serious role-playing. It's not fast-paced, but if this is moving at a speed that is suitable for you, and you like role-playing, you just might enjoy Zajira. Let me put it that way. She's not to everybody's taste. My style of role-playing is not to everybody's taste, and I freely admit that. But I do the best job I can. I put a lot into it, and I hope that shows. Anyway, like I said, enough Zajira's travels. We have mants. And how many mants do we have? You just all by yourself? You are a mant scout. Have we fought a scout before? I know we fought the workers. Lots of workers. Oop. Helps when you press the right key. Val. It just helps. There's gonna be more of them. So, am I seeing things? Oh, they're after this guy. Okay. I was just saying, because you can only have 2 guys fighting in this area at once. Training. You know what? There's something I haven't tried, which I'm going to try to remember to try after this. In the meantime, guys, I don't really... Well, you're the armored guys, so I suppose if anybody can rush out the gates and go fight on your own, you'd be the ones to do it, so... Alright, let's give it a go. You'll get back up shortly, and it looks like you're not too far from the gate anyway. And it's just one scout? How much tougher than a worker are you? Well, one of you's not too bad. That's for dang sure. Oop. Come on. No, go away. Thank you. Okay. And why is my earphones keep getting loose? Drive me nuts. Can't hear anything. Right, let's go back to our... Well, that flooded a much lesser area than I was thinking. So, you know what? Go ahead and take that out. We want more room for mushrooms, and if it requires opening up those walls, then... Now let's see what happens. Zoom in for that. So are you going to flood any further? We'd appreciate it if you'd, at least this much would be nice. You're not going to flood, are you? %3 water. Yeah, because look at all the water here. Not quite sure how this happened, but we will get rid of it. Huh. Well, maybe it's doing this because I missed the window for spring flood, which is why I started this in the first place, but at least we have more area now that we can grow mushrooms in. It's not a huge amount of more area, but it's better than it was, so... Strictly speaking, is it better than it was before? Yes. Well, there you go then. Well, I guess we'll just leave that and see what happens. Can't do any more than that at the moment, I think. Right, so let's see. How's our tinkering doing? Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, well, it's progressing. Let's put it back on fast. And let's just take a look at our armor and weapons. So we've got 20 hand axes, 17 hammers, so obviously that's still in progress. 16 breast, 16 powder gold. Oh, so we got our armor belt. And we're almost finished with the leather armor. So the question now is, are we running low on cotton? Again. Cloth. No, we got 114. So I think we can go here. And let's go ahead and let's order 2 more sets. And then over here we will build our 7th set of armor. All right. So, for armor, it's actually getting pretty full here. Oh, it's full of yak and... Okay. Figure once we have 8 sets of armor, we can take care of this ogre. An ogre and a goblin. So it looks like we have just the 2. Well, maybe that goblin's wearing... It's a goblin fighter. Curious as to whether they've started wearing... No, they're still wearing copper. I was wondering if they were starting to wear bronze or not, but no, that's not why there's only 1. There must be more to arrive yet. Alright, well, we'll get them. Okay, so we got 3 goblins. Let's just check. No, 2 goblins. Alright. That's a good advance. Recent. How about today? 2 goblins and an ogre. Well, I'd be surprised if anybody got injured then. No one... Well, at least if they did not get injured. That's a little puzzling. I mean, not that I'm complaining. I'm just a little surprised that we just had 2 goblins and an ogre. We were getting 6 goblins. Alrighty then. Let's put those doors back. Yeah, that's up. We got a fair bit lit up here. Putting them in the corner like that lights up the corners nicely, which we didn't have before. Well, I think we finished with what we were doing with the armor, didn't we? Because we ordered more leather armor and we ordered more, another set of the bronze, so that's good. But it looks like we might want to put down another crate there, so let's... storage, please. Let's just put down another crate there. Looks like we're going to need the room. Nice problem. A bear. Okay, who spotted the bear? I don't see a gnome anywhere close. Who spotted the bear? Well, you guys are practicing, so it wasn't you. Oh, you spotted the bear. Oh dear. No. Please leave the bear. See that bear? Don't touch him. Oh, good. This guy listened to me. How is that bear anyway? We might want the bear is bleeding. Oh, he must have fought someone. Bleeding from his upper body. Health. Nail bear bleeding. Oh, now you're gonna spot the bear. Oh, you fought a goblin, that's why. That's where the other goblin came from. That's why. Maybe there's more goblins lying around. So we did only fight the one goblin. One goblin, one ogre, because the other one died to a bear. Well. No. I do not want you fighting the bear. Fine. The bear is bleeding. Everybody go in there and let's hope you do not die. If you die, I am going to be sad but also annoyed. You're running away because you're bleeding. How badly are you hurt? Hopefully it's something that just a bandage can look after. Bleeding from his left leg. Okay, you're not dropping copious amounts of blood, so you should make it. There you are. Alright. Chester. I think it was Chester. Do not... Yeah, because he had the felling axe, which looks slightly different than the battle axe, or like the fighting axe. Alright, you guys. Go kill the bear. Now we got somebody else injured. Here comes the troops. Don't die, please. Please don't die. Please don't die. Please. Kringle, how are you doing? You're in good health. Oh, and you're hungry. Okay, you're crafting an item. Did the bear just die? The bear has died. Alright. Yes, last time we fought a bear, somebody died, so that's why I'm just a little worried here. Right, population. Nobody's injured. You mean we actually were able to kill a bear? Wow. Without anybody dying. This is good. Not hallucinating. Nobody died. Nope, nobody died. Nobody died. That's very good. Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get that bear. Because if I recall correctly, the bear actually makes better armor, so. Which is one of the reasons I decided, since that one guy insisted on fighting him, that we were going to do it anyway. Even though I had a bad feeling, which turned out to be incorrect. For which I am extremely grateful. Well, while we wait for these remains to be picked up, I'm just kind of watching them to see if they spot anybody else in the area. Graphics card. The new graphics card that I'm getting. I, spent about 4 hours researching it, deciding on the best one that fit my budget, and now I'm just waiting to see if, and I'm really hoping that in one of the 3 places I'm watching, that the particular brand of card that I selected will be going on sale on November, what is it? November the what? It's Friday, November, math is your friend, 29th? Black Friday, anyway. The chipset that I'm getting is a Radeon R9 280X. And the particular brand I selected, I picked because in tests it stayed cooler, it was quieter. And in order for those nice 2 features, it's much larger. And that's the reason for the new chassis. Not that I'm complaining about having to get a new chassis. I'm not. I'm actually pretty happy that it turned out that I needed one, but it's not. I did do my... I was going to compromise and try to fit one in there that was smaller. But even the smallest one that I could find of that particular graphics card was still going to be too big. So I was like, well, either I have to change my mind about which graphics card I want, go for a lesser one that hopefully will be smaller, or get a new chassis. Unfortunately, my husband was very, very accommodating. He was okay about getting the bigger case. I keep calling it a chassis, but it's a case to put all the innards in. So, very excited about that. I wish I could buy it, but I wish I could have bought it when we first decided I was going to get it, but I'm waiting. I'm trying to be patient. Save some money. Maybe pay for some of the computer case that wasn't originally in the budget plan. So, okay, enough about that. The thing that I was going to try doing, and I wasn't sure if I could do this or not, and the only way I can find out is by building another training ground. So that's what we're going to do. I think... stockpile, that's not what I wanted. I think we have... I had them build training dummies. Yes, I did. Because I was thinking about building another one. And... yeah, let's orientate this one the opposite way. We'll put it there. Now, what I want to find out is, can I assign the same squad to 2 training grounds? Because then it would have not just the one set practicing, but the second set as well. And I'm really hoping I can. Because that would be awesome. To have 4 of them practicing, potentially, instead of just 2 of them. And where are you going? You are going to get the cotton. Which somebody must have been carrying at the time that they ran out to help. Why they didn't drop it right where they were when they decided to go out to help, I don't know. Because I thought I got all the cotton from out here. Last live stream. Cleaned up all the cotton so I didn't have guys running out and aggroing bears when I wasn't ready for that. Okay, it's built. Great, let's see what happens. I can pick them. Okay. Oh, no, they all go over there. Oh. Pooh. Piffle. That's too bad. That really is too bad. Oh well, it was worth a try. I was going to build a second one at some point anyway, so it's not like... Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. What do you think? Do you think these are 3 soldiers? Or not soldiers, but scouts? What do we got here? We got a worker, and a worker. Okay, so 3 workers. Unless there's another 3 hidden somewhere, it should be okay. Here comes the backup squad. Okay. And number 3. Yep. Good job, guys. Good job. Alright, well. Let's just slow this down a bit. We're still... That's all the water that we're getting. Okay. You know what I didn't do? It is all sheer walls. But that's a ramp. They can climb up there, and then they're out of luck because they can't cross there. Okay, good. And same thing there. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't messed up and left an opening for them to come in the back road. Back way, as it were, and kill off all my crafting gnomes before the troops could respond. You know what? Yeah. That's not lit. I don't... Can I... I don't know if mobs can spawn on those or not. Can I put a torch there? No, not a stockpile. What am I doing? I keep wanting to press that one. Today, I want to press that. Let's do a wall torch. And we'll do a birch one. And... let's... I can't place it. Will not let me place it. Can I place it in places like this? Will not let me place it. Well, fine. I will place a different kind of torch then. I was kind of hoping to... Yeah, let's put it there. Let's see if it stops the water from flowing. I hope it doesn't. Because what I was actually thinking of doing was... Well, if this isn't flooding, then maybe we'll open up another little area here. And bring in more water. Please don't block the water. I think it might be a little bit... Well, let's do what I was thinking of doing, is just dig this out. And we might as well do it on the other side, too. See if we can get some flooding happening in there, because we could always change this to our mushroom farm and, you know, make that something else. But let's see if... because then... Yeah, this might be a bad idea, but you never know. It might actually work pretty good. Okay, I don't think I've opened up any any way for them to get out, because that's all straight walls. So they're blocked there. That's a wall. That's a ramp there, but like I said when I was looking at it. Okay, so it is coming in somewhat. Not as much as I'd hoped, but you know. Right. Okay, so this is the ramp. They're gonna get there and they can't get in. Okay. Well, let's see how it does. Yes, in theory, if they fall down... Oh dear. Did I just open something up there? You fall down there. I'm not sure. I think they maybe can fall down there. Well, you know what? I am not going to take the chance. It might be perfectly fine, but I'm paranoid. So we're going to build that, and we're going to build this, oops, and that. So there is only one place they can do that. Soil, please. Right there. Okay, so that should be there, which means... Okay, it's probably okay. Or we could just say to heck with it and fill it all in. Yeah, we're gonna say to heck with it. Because it wasn't really working that well anyway. We're just gonna try it over here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to make a new mushroom farm then. Agriculture, underground farm. And we are going to make basically this entire area, as much as possible. Mushroom, please. And then we're going to go like this and make sure those are included in the mushroom farm, I think. Yes. Yes, it's now highlighting. Okay. Right, so we have more mushroom area. This area is probably going to dry up. Because where was the water coming in originally? Oh, I know I'm being indecisive. Fine. I think that was the original point. And we had no problems with that, so... let's just leave it. Leave it open, and at least we got more mushroom farm now. Because we needed more mushroom farm. So this, probably not all of it will stay hydrated, but it might. If it does, that's great. We'll leave it, and we'll have more mushroom farm here. And if we're really lucky, next spring, which we will not get to in this live stream, and since this is the last live stream for Gnomoria, unless people ask me to resume it. So if you want to see more of it, if you have actually been watching this, please comment. Please say, you know, I want to see more of this same world, or, you know, start a new kingdom. I want to see a new kingdom, or whatever. But if you don't comment, I won't know. So, In the meantime, while I unpause the game, I wanted to say that I will be streaming again next Sunday. And we still have an hour left on this one. We have 4 nomads. That's excellent. Let me finish my train of thought before we welcome our new arrivals. I have been considering some different games that I already have. So they're older ones, the ones I've been looking at. And I haven't decided for sure yet, which is why I won't tell you which ones I've been considering. However, I did want to say that there will be another live stream. I still want to do the keep up the practice of having a 3-hour live stream on Sundays at 1 o'clock. And so I haven't decided yet what next Sundays will be, but there will be a live stream. So I will say that I'm not the ones that I've been considering are not sandbox games. They're faster paced games than this. I thought that would make a nice change. So yeah, that's all I'll say. Anyway, come back next Sunday. Or since I don't think I have any viewers right now, that's actually I will address that. The reason that I'm stopping the Gnomoria, unless otherwise asked, is not because I have nobody watching my live streams while I'm live streaming. That has no bearing. I actually will continue to live stream even if nobody watches it while I'm live streaming. While I enjoy responding to people's comments, and since I'm doing live streaming, I would actually prefer to respond to people's comments. So, because you get that interaction going on, it's much more interesting, I think, for everybody involved. But the fact that I haven't had viewers, and I know that it's because I'm a very small channel, and I pretty much expected that I really wouldn't have very many viewers at any point until I get much bigger, if that happens. I still like the format of live streaming for 3 hours, whether or not people are watching. And the reason I like it is because it lets me give you some more content, some more things to watch, that shows a little that I don't just do role-playing games, that I enjoy other games, and that hopefully that I enjoy them, I can let you see them and potentially have you enjoy them too. So having this up on YouTube, forever, well, not forever, whenever YouTube goes defunct, which hopefully won't be for a very long time, if ever. But anyway, point being, the videos are up there. The 3-hour live streams will be up there when I finish live streaming, irregardless of whether I have viewers or not. Irregardless is not a word, I know. So, not having viewers, I would prefer to have viewers. I would enjoy having viewers at the time that I'm doing the live stream. So, please come and watch if you like live streams. If you like watching them after the fact, which a lot of people who have been coming by and looking at them seem to, then that's fine too. And as much as I would enjoy having viewers, I don't want to say you're not necessary, because that's not true. I'm talking about at the time that I do the live stream. Quite obviously, if I put up the live streams and absolutely 0 people watch them, after a certain point I would probably stop doing that, because then there's no real point in it. I do want people to watch it. And whether or not it's at the live stream or afterwards, I do want people to watch. And the fact that my Zazura's Travels has a fairly loyal following, which is awesome. I have people, excited when I post new videos, ask me where they are when I haven't posted them, and who are anxious to have ones that I preloaded released, is awesome. I really enjoy that. I enjoyed the whole process of recording, of role-playing Zajira, of being Zajira when I'm doing the recording. I enjoy all of that. But to be quite honest, if nobody watched them at all, then I probably at some point would stop doing them. Simply because, well, I can enjoy being Zajira without recording and doing the additional work of editing and uploading it. But that said, Zajira's Travels is a lot more mentally taxing for me. It takes a lot more mental energy, and it takes a lot more editing work than the live streams do. The live streams I look at as a way to show you how I play, what kind of things I enjoy, and, you know, by showing you games that maybe when you see me do them, and see what kind of, not the fact that it's me that's doing the video, but you see someone playing the game, that you might want to go get the game yourself. Or maybe you just like watching the video. There's videos of games that I watch fairly regularly, and I don't really play the game that much. I just like watching people play it. So, undoubtedly there will be some people that just like watching somebody play the game. And I think I've just been rambling here. If I had an original point, I hope I made it, because I can't remember specifically what it was. Let's see if I can summarize. Live streaming. I'm still going to do it. Even though Gnomoria is not going to be live streamed after this, unless I receive requests to do so. There will be something on Sunday, and hopefully people will enjoy it. And yes, please, I hope some people will start watching when I'm doing the live streaming. But as long as people continue to watch after the fact, then I see no time that I'm going to stop the streaming. Because having the content up there for you to look at and enjoy is the main purpose. The ability to have people enjoy it with me while I'm playing by commenting and interacting with me, that to me is the added bonus. And hopefully I'll get to enjoy more of that in the future. So anyway, I hope this didn't I hope that all didn't come across as, oh, poor Val, nobody's watching her live streams when they're live, because that's not what I intended whatsoever. I would like people to watch it while it's live, but you know, people do stuff on Sundays, and I picked the day that was fit best into my schedules. It just might not fit into the schedules of the people that know I'm around, and that's fine. That's just the way it is. Right, we have nomads. Let's get back to the game. Sorry for that. Well, I guess I didn't go on too long, but I did probably blather for at least 10 minutes there. For which, I'm not going to apologize, but I am going to say that perhaps I could have picked a better forum for it. Anyway, what do we have here? Elberg, Rose, and Humar. Or, yes, we'll call him Humar, not Hamar. Guess it doesn't really matter. However you want to pronounce it. Maybe I should ask the gnome. How do you pronounce your name? Let's see. Let's look at my list of roles I'd like to fill. A 5th soldier. Actually, I only had 3 roles picked out, so the 4th one I have an extra. Awesome. Alright. So, we know we want a soldier. Let's take a look at our new arrivals and see if any of them have any stupendous other skills. Otherwise, we will look at them first for who has the... if anyone has a decent skill. Okay, so you are a a cook and an engineer. Really? You are a miner with a little bit of engineering and horticulture and machining. You do machining, so you might potentially be a good engineer. What do you got? Weapon crafting, hauling. You, LB. what do you have for see, the mechanic? Soldiers, okay, let me explain what the role of mechanic is. A mechanic will go out and repair and reset traps. I don't know if traps can be damaged by goblins and whatnot, but they certainly can set them off. And you don't want a craftsperson or even a lightly armored gnome rushing out to reset the trap, which is what the mechanic skill is. What you want is somebody that can actually survive a bit of a pounding until the cavalry can arrive. So I like to give the mechanic skill to the soldiers because they're well armored, they've got, they can defend themselves, and so if I want anybody rushing out to reset a trap when there's enemies still in the area, I want it to be one of the soldiers. So, that said, because I guess I should add, the reason they rush out is because it's automatic. You don't actually have to go and click on the trap that got set off and say reset it. The game does it automatically. Which, as long as you're careful, is a good thing. And that's why we're going to be careful and give it to a soldier. Which is why we're looking at LB, who had the mechanic skill. And he, well, not the most fabulous fighter. Hammer and axe, I mean, he's not horrible. So, maybe. Let's see if there's anybody that's fabulous, like this guy. See that axe? 26. Okay, well, LB is winning. Or, sorry, Elberg is winning. Rose, how about you? Rose, you're pretty much middle of... It's a hobby. Humar, how about you? You're okay with the hammer, but... Okay, so, let's see. Hammer 20. You're not so good with an axe. And your armor is 19. And dodge is 19. Alright, so let's look at Elberg. Elberg. Your hammer is not so good. Your dodge is not so good. And your armor is not so good. So, it's kind of a toss-up between the two of you, Humar and Elberg. So, Elberg, let's go back to you. Let's look at your, can I resize you? I can resize you. Mechanic, you are 12. And so let's look at Humar. And your mechanic is 10. Okay. Elberg, you just have a slight edge. Congratulations on being our new soldier. Soldier. There. Alright. So that's our 5th soldier. And we will add him to the squad right now, actually. So, squads. Let's go to our Heroes of Valrubia. And we finally have a full squad. Although, now that we have the 5 guys, we could actually split it up into 2 squads, and that way more guys will be practicing. I think that's actually what we're going to do, rather than put him in here. So, grab bag fighters, plate mail, melee. Okay, so we're going to do a new squad. The different name, please. The gluttonous damagers of distraction. That is awesome. Alright, you guys are the gluttonous... yeah. Okay. Okay, let's put... Okay, so we're gonna move... let's move Winky in there. And let's move Elberg. And I think I'm going to actually move a 3rd one in there because Elberg, if he's awake, I want him practicing. And if we just have 2 in there, then he's a little less likely to be practicing. Because the other guy might be asleep. Right, so we have the gluttonous damagers of destruction. Ooh. And then we have the Heroes of Valrubia. And guess the position doesn't really matter, but let's put Ava up here at the top if we can find her. Down here. There we are. Alright. So we got 2 groups. Which means we can now take this one and we can make the gluttonous damagers of destruction and say, right, you guys practice there. Perfect. Just wondering how many rooms we have empty. I think these are full. Because this is where I have my soldiers going. So, sorry, Elia. You are going to be moved over here. Oh, wait. Let's see who's in the squad so I don't accidentally move a soldier out of there, because I don't want to do that. So Chloe and Ava. Winky, Elberg, and Vogt. Okay, so Elia is definitely not. So let's go down here and give Elberg that room. Keeps our soldiers somewhat. You're not a soldier. Soldier, soldier, soldier. Okay, fine. Let's fix that. Elberg. And Mecca. Mecca. Let's put Mecca back there. And put Elia here. There we go. I think we will start putting better beds in these now. And personal. So we have 2 spots open. We actually have to assign a new one anyway, which is good to know. Designate area, rooms, personal quarters. Yeah, let's go ahead. And I guess it won't really matter who we put in there for the last guys. In rows. And I think we might as well go ahead and put in the... Is it beds or 4-poster beds? We only have 1 built? Okay. We'll put 1 in there. And then we need to put 1 in there as well. So I will hold off actually designating those ones until I know. Once I get the other bed in there, then we'll be good. Okay. Now, so we've got our 5th soldier. And we need a builder. So out of our... I think that's slightly more important. Well, they're all important. That's the problem. Okay. They're all... None of them are really... You do cooking. You know what? You are going to be... I think I'm going to just make you a chef, because rather than splitting it into separate roles, like I was thinking of originally, simply because there's only one place to make food, and there's a brewer's station. So that pretty much means one guy will be making food, and the other guy will be making the other. And then if I find that one of them tends to be idle, then I can look at splitting them up and creating creating a second food area. And or brewing area. So, we got our chef. So builder. Right. So we have Rose. Construction. Oh, I think, yeah, you're the builder. No contest. Which leaves you, Rose. You know what? You're going to become our engineer. Because you have machining. And so let's see how I've got the engineer set up. The engineer does only engineering and does tinkering, machining, engineering, and mechanic. And yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll set up a second tinkerer's bench. So the doctor, and now we can start it running, so that our doctor and someone else can be both researching. So let's see if we have what we need to build another tinkerer's bench. And we do. Let's put that there. And under population, let's look under Tinkerer 2, Machinist 2, Engineer 2, Mechanic 6. Yep, because I had already set the soldiers obviously up to be mechanics, which I didn't know I'd done, but perfect. I was going to do it if I hadn't. So the only question I really have left... Oh, we got 5 brewers? Oh, that's right, because the farmers are helping out with the brewing. So... maybe I will set up a second kitchen. And it looks like we have everything we need, so... yeah, let's go ahead and build ourselves another kitchen. And we might do another brewer's thing, which means I believe we need three brewing... who's it? Distillery. Oh! I only need 1 barrel. Well, fabulous. Let's build it. And we'll leave them for the moment. Might need to say the word need multiple times. We also might be able to create another butcher shop, but quite frankly, this butcher shop seems quite able to keep up. As you can tell from the metric ton of meat that we have. In fact, we probably should throw down a few more crates. We have more meat than we need. Although, if we could turn it all into sandwiches, that would sandwiches, and can we make sausage omelets? I think we can. But I think the mushroom ones are better because they have mushrooms and they have cheese, as well as obviously the egg for the omelet part. Good. Okay, I think we're doing pretty good. I don't think we'll... how's the tinkering? Now that we have 2 guys prospecting, we might actually... or not prospecting, tinkering. I might actually be able to show you them actually discovering stuff. So I'm going to try to keep this on fast and not pause it too often, so that we can hopefully see that before the end of the stream. Because then at least I'll feel like I've showed you as much as I can of the features of the game. Because you can get into building, you know, like a nice little traps and all that sort of thing here. You know, for the encroaching enemies, I think you might have to have like a special gate that you open up for merchants to come in, because I'm not sure, but I think they can be damaged by these traps as well. So there's things like that you need to look after. And that won't happen today, obviously. No way. I'm just hoping we can at least research something so I can show you how it works. yeah, let's see how our carpenter is doing. 4-poster bed. And we had some doors too. So let's look at what doors. Because we got 2. Right. So let's look at the carpenter. I just want to see 4-poster bed. I said it says just 4-poster, not birch, so it should use any frame. Okay. I think I might actually tell him to craft 2 of them. Craft up to 2. So, and I would actually like it to be more important. He's building the parts. Okay, so there, yeah, you can see got 2 guys researching. One is our new engineer, and one is our doctor, which is great. And if I look at both tinker benches, as I mentioned before, you can see they share the same progress bar, which is awesome. I'm just going to take a peek at the armor and weapons to see how we're doing. 20 hand axes, 19 hammers. And for armor, actually let's do one at a time. The metal, almost done the 7th set. Wow. The leather, we're up to 20. I think I set it to 22, so they're still working on the leather. And the bone, yeah, the bone is done. So they're now working on the leather stuff. When the ranchers get a chance, because they're the ones that I have making this armor. All right, so it's just a matter of keeping an eye on what's going on and dealing with any incursions. And now we've got 2 builders. So, once we craft loaf of bread, let's just get these set up. Sausages and cheese. And then you can make a sandwich. And then you can make mushroom omelets. So I think the sauce... Oh, the sausage uses... I wasn't aware of that. Sure. Let's create some sausage omelets as well. And we're going to just change these to 4. And then we'll go here. I'm just going to change these to 4 as well, because we're going to add the sausage omelet, which I wasn't aware used cheese as well, which is awesome. And that way, and let's just do these in a slightly different order, because let's move that up. Let's move the omelets up. That way the one is, you don't need the loaf of bread for that, but you do need the sausages for that. There. That way the one hopefully will tend to be making omelets, and the other one will tend to be making sandwiches. Okay. Aha. So we've got 2 goblins. Alright. 2 goblins and 1 ogre. Potentially more. Alright. Oh. Goblin fighter. Goblin fighter. 3 goblins. Yep, everybody's attacking there. 3 goblins. Alrighty then. Let's slow it down for the actual fight. 3 goblins and an ogre. Come on, guys. Kick their butts. No dying. No dying on your part. Alright. Let's see. And, what am I looking at? Population. I'm all confused because it's big. No injuries. Or at least no permanent injuries. That's fabulous. And let's go over here, get those. I think we get more food from the goblins than we do from anybody else. Like from the yaks. I think we're mostly eating goblin sausages with a side of ogre sausages and yaks. Oh, they broke that other door too. Well, that's no good. Fix. Fix, please. Fix it. Okay, I was just checking my notes, and it looks like Civilian Fighters 2 might need to... No, I set them up, so I have no idea why I made that note. Yeah. I'll just remove that. As you may have gathered, I like to make notes so that I know what's going on between episodes. So I'm slightly more coherent. Just a little bit. Let's see if we got any more beds made yet. No. Okay, Oh, you're working on something. Looks like you're getting the parts. The parts for a bed, so that's good. Carry on. Carry on. So how's this doing? Yeah, if it's really close to having the tinkering research being done, a honey badger has been spotted. No. Leave him alone, please. See him? Leave him alone. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, right, tinkering. You can research multiple things. So when they finish the first tinkering research bar, like I said, the messages come up saying, you know, Fizzwin has researched X, Y, and Z. And then the bar is reset, and you can research the next thing. There is a limited set of things you can research. I'm sure over time, the things that can be researched will be expanded by the developers. And there is a fair amount. I mean, you can make a mechanical wall, like I mentioned the two types of traps before. You can make a trap door, so you could potentially build a pit trap with spikes at the bottom. You know, so there's some nice things. And you can build, oh, what was it? They require power. So I think you can build a windmill to provide power, or you could have a gnome stand there and crank it by hand, which obviously is not ideal. So there's gnome power, there's wind power, and hopefully in the future they'll add things like steam engines and stuff. The other things you can build are you can build crossbows. Once you've done the research, you can build pistols. I think they're flintlock pistols, if I recall correctly. And those are pretty nice. I like setting up basically my fighters are the melee guys, and then I end up switching over like the ranchers and the builders and the farmers to be ranged units, because the crossbow and the pistol are two-handed, and so they end up replacing the weapons that they're holding, the melee weapons, with the ranged weapons, and I find that a lot of fun. But so there is a fair amount of things you can research, and they are fun to play with. It just takes you a while to get there. Because when you think about it, I've been playing, this is episode 10, and each of my live streams is 3 hours long, so by the end of this live stream, I will have done 30 hours, actually probably closer to 31, because I went overtime last time, and I might go a little over this time just to be able to show you at least the first batch of the tinkering invention results. And so that's 31 hours of play to get to the point of building contraptions, being able to build parts, and then I can't remember if you just get parts the first time or if you actually get at least one finished product as well. But that's... So probably you want to expect to get to the sort of the... I wouldn't call it endgame content, because I'm sure there's going to be more and more stuff added in the future. But for the current state of the game, in beta 0.9.2.1, once you are able to build the tinkered items, and you've done all the research, that's pretty much the current end game. In that there is a limited set of things that you can research. Over time, that end game portion will be expanded, I am certain. But at the current state, it's trying to remember. I think I played about 50 hours, 45 to 50 hours in my other game. The one I'm thinking of, I had played more than one other game, but for the one I'm thinking of, I played 45 to 50 hours before I had done all the tinkering research and had built at least one of each item to play with. And my guys were just getting into steel armor at that point. I think I had like half of them were still in bronze and half were in steel armor. And I had, I think, almost 2 full squads of fighters. And I had my, like I said, the farmers and the ranchers and the builders, basically the guys that don't normally carry a tool to do the work, as ranged units. And that's a fair amount of gameplay when you consider that each game will be different, because you have, well, it's a sandbox game. Each world is generated fresh, so it has that replayability. You know, like here, this is what, my 3rd or 4th mushroom farm, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly which level to put them at, because it depends on the world, it seems. And like I said, it might also depend on how big the pond is. Obviously, this larger pond is having a better luck at doing the soil, so this little tiny pond, not so good. You want a bigger pond. So that's something I learned this game. It's a fun game. I really enjoy it. And hopefully, some of you that have watched this, if not, well, I won't be so brash as to say all of you, but at least some of you, I hope, will, get the game and play it, and like I said, it's in beta. Give the developer your feedback. It could have an impact on the decisions that the developer makes. What sort of things he adds. In terms of additional components that can be made and researched. And hopefully he'll be doing an enhancing of the windows, like adding filters and search things. All those sorts of things you want to let them know that you'd like to see. But yeah, I hope that you'll check it out. Because I certainly... I find this as fun to play as I found Minecraft, as I found the various Sims, Sims 1, 2, and 3. I enjoyed all those, but this has the same kind of replayability, so certainly worth. It's less expensive than the Sims 3, so it money-wise, you might even say it's better because it's you get more bang for your buck. All right. I think perhaps we need to order more armor here. It looks suspiciously quiet over there. Oh yeah, the metal armor is all finished. How about the leather? Leather, still working on the leather, that's fine then. Weapons? 2021, they're still working on that. Okay. Let's order our 8th set. Then it would help if I was in the right shop, wouldn't it? Just a little bit. Funny how that works. Oops. Now, and when the shopkeeper, merchant, that's the word I'm looking for, when the merchant comes on the 5th summer, now that we have extra sets built, we have 2 sets fully built and an 8th one being built, we can actually sell off some of the poor quality armor. And I'm waiting until the merchant actually arrives before I tell my guys to upgrade, to make sure they have at least average, because I want to double check that I have enough at least average armor to outfit all 5 guys, because I don't want to leave them without some armor. That would not be good. Soldiers going out. Oh my! Excuse me. I gotta take a little bit of a drink here. All right. Wow. I think my voice can only handle about 3 hours. At least right now, like I said, I think I might be fighting off the start of a cold. But I don't know how some of those guys on Twitch do live streams, like 12-hour live streams. I believe... Is it Generic B? I think it's Generic B. I don't know if he's already done the live stream or not, but he's going to do one that's 12 hours long. And I just can't imagine talking for 12 hours without your voice giving out long before you reach the end. So I guess maybe it's like any other muscle in the body. You got to work your way up to doing the what's the word I'm looking for? Not gargantuan, but massive. The massive ones. It's still not the right word. It's not the one that I want. But anyway, I think the last time I'm not hoarse yet, which is good. And only one time in my life have I ever talked myself hoarse, and that was when I was a kid, and I was busy. We set up a circus in our front yard. Or I set up a circus. I was basically the ringmaster, because I was, you gotta do this, you gotta go over and do that. I was the construction manager. And I think after we've been playing for about an hour or so, I had gone hoarse because I was, well, being a bit bossy. Obviously, because I was saying, do this, do that, do the other thing. Because if I hadn't been talking so much, I would have been fine. But anyway... I can't imagine talking yourself hoarse, but on a live stream, but I suppose it could happen. 3 hours seems to be my current limit, though. Although when I'm doing well, no, you're not going to touch that honey badger. You see him? In case you're wondering why I do this, the reason is that, one of the groups might decide to attack him, but the other ones don't. And I want to make sure that nobody is going to attack him, and that's why I click it and then uncheck it, because that makes sure that anybody that might have been thinking of attacking him will stop. Now, obviously that doesn't always work, and I believe it is because they see him again, and then they want to attack him again. And, but it works most of the time. Most of the time they won't go after it a second time. But as you saw earlier with the bear, sometimes they insist on attacking it. Despite your best efforts to say, no, 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 that's not the best idea. They're like, well, yes, it is. I want to do that. Silly gnomes. Right, do we have any beds built yet? 4 poster beds. We have 1 built. Well, that'll do because we need a bed in here for... Because right now I think that person would be in the dormitory, which is our overflow area. And let's see, do we have any doors built? We do have the doors built. Okay, well, let's put some more doors in then. Okay, so now I can fill out the rest of those rooms. Designate area, bedding, bedroom, personal quarters. Here you go, boys and girls. No, we don't want to put anybody in there. That's right, I just can click back. No, get out of there. I thought that I could just click over here, but we're not. Apparently not. Anyway, there's some trick to it where you don't have to keep closing it that I am, oops, currently failing to do. Right, get back to work. No pausing. Dirt floor. Oh dear. We're just lucky nobody spawned there. Right, let's fix that. Torches. We need... I guess we could... Let's put up a wall torch there. If I can be allowed to place... No, I think you actually have to build the wall. And it's because outside I'd actually built those walls that it said it was a valid place for me to place it. I think that's why I can't do it. So we'll just go with the floor torch that can burn people as they walk past it. Very, very risky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just throw you right here. So actually, let's go down here and just make sure, yeah, it's all lit. Yes. So we don't have any spawning areas inadvertently set up down there. Just over where they're sleeping, you know, so the monster can come in and slaughter them in their sleep. Yeah. Oh, trouble. A mant. Oh, I don't believe it's a mant. It's a scout again. Oh, maybe it is a mant. Well, mant scout. Everybody? Yes. So let's see. Is everybody selected? Yes. Go kick said mant's ass, and we'll see if there's any more. No, it looks like maybe just the one. So the mant scouts are supposed to be that much harder. Apparently. You managed to break that door down too. How did you do that? I don't know. It seems a little bogus to me that you could destroy that quite so quickly, but fine, I will fix it. Well, one of my loyal, hardworking gnomes will fix it. I will. Come to think of it, I guess I'm still the ringmaster, aren't I? I'm still telling all my little friends what to do. Okay. That must be why I like sandbox games. Because you get to be bossy. Oh, look at him. What? No, that's not what I'm looking at. Goblin fighter. What is he wearing? Iron? Oh no. That's our first iron stuff. Wow. Okay, this one might be more interesting. So it looks like we have 2 goblin fighters. And what are you wearing? You're wearing bronze. Oh, okay. So this is our first fight with 2 goblins and 1 ogre in bronze and iron. Why? Or is it bronze and iron? Like, couldn't you just upgrade to bronze first? Okay, guys, well, I think we need to take care of the biggest threat first, which, oddly enough, I don't think is the ogre. I think it's this guy. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's see if see if we're gonna lose someone. Go for it. At least we had all 5 of these guys near the gate. You know, nobody was asleep or eating. Okay, so just gonna double check. It is just 3, isn't it? 3. Yeah. Just 3. 1 in bronze, 1 in iron. Oh, and an ogre. Go for it, guys. You can do it. I have faith in you. I have faith. Come on. Come on. Oh, the iron guy. Did anybody get injured? No injuries. I am pleasantly surprised. I really am pleasantly surprised. Let's fix that. That one doesn't need to be fixed. And... okay. Well now. That... I'm surprised. Very pleasantly surprised, but I'm surprised. Alright then. Something I was going to do is I was going to up the number of items here. Simply because we actually have a higher population. And... oops. So at any one point in time, ideally we would like to have 18 meals. Good meals. We do have more gnomes than that, but they're not going to all be eating at the same time. Oh, right, 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Silly person. Alright, we'll leave that one. Oh, no. It's gonna bug me if I don't change it to 6. There we go. Alrighty then. What priority are you set at? You're set at 5. You? You're set at 5. Do not accept generated jobs, thank you. And you are not built yet, so... what are we waiting on, by the way? Barrels. Oh! Did I only have... I probably said only build 1 barrel, didn't I? Why can't I see barrels? That's what the problem is. Okay. There. That will fix that. Excellent. All the mushrooms have been planted and they are growing fine. How is our research coming? Almost there. Almost there. Going much faster now that we have two individuals doing that. And we should... it's sunrise, almost. Which means we should be seeing the arrival of our merchants pretty quick here. And we can have a look at what we've got for the... oh, here we go. How many merchants? 4 merchants. Awesome. Summer is when you get the most merchants, and that's awesome. I got as many merchants as I have stalls. You can actually get more merchants than stalls, and that's why I had built this many of them. So let's get them in place, and we'll see what we can buy. A bear has been spotted. can I convince you guys to ignore the bear? Please? Let's put you back to regular time. No? I told you to leave the bear alone. But it's the soldiers going after it. Alright, fine. Go kill the bear. If you can catch up to him. That's the problem with animals, is they run away. Oh. Well. Is it dead? Or did it get away? Well, you're getting a dead ogre body. From where, I'm not quite sure. Did they kill that bear? This is the quickest way to tell. The bear's not dead. They gave up on the bear? They listened... Would you... Why aren't you... Oh. I have to pick which one I want to cancel. I just want it out of the screen. Or is everybody hurt? No, nobody's injured. So... I do not understand. That's bear blood. Did the bear fall in the water? Now I'm curious. What happened to the bear? There! The bear! He's still there. Oh, he fell in the water. And they couldn't get to him, so they gave up on him. Okay. Well, works for me. Alrighty then. Let's see. What was I doing before the bear interrupted? I cannot remember. I know that we ordered another barrel. And I think I was talking about mushrooms. Or, I know we're waiting on the tinkering, which is getting close. No, I cannot remember. Sorry about that. I absolutely do not remember. Ah, now I remember. I was going to go to a market stall and check on our armor as to what quality they were, the metal armor, the bronze. And oh. Gonna get rid of the poor quality ones. There we go. So, let's close that. It will remember, what we were doing, fortunately. I was going to go to the military, and I was going to tell my guys, specifically my grab bag armor, I want them to wear at least average. So we'll see what'll happen. See how many pieces of armor get dropped. Let it run for a little bit, because it takes a little while for the armor to get... for your guys to decide to drop the armor. Because I think while they're training, they don't... Oh! Did you see that? Fizzwin has vented the rod, the axle, the gear, the spring, the mechanism base, and gearbox. So we can't actually build anything yet. Any finished products, that is. But now, if you go to the machine shop, you see we can build rods and gears and springs, which we couldn't build before. And so we're going to actually build some of these so that craft one of those. Later on we can, well, I would check to see what those make. They might make a gearbox mechanism base. Requires a gear and a spring. 2 gears and 1 spring. And the gearbox takes 4 gears and any mechanism base. So we need at least 4 gears. The axle uses any rod. So we can go here and say 4 gears. That way we could build anything. Now, I said any bar. That's not what I want. Let's try this again. Bronze. Need 2 of them. Or you can leave it at craft to 1, because we only need 1 right now. But it's always going to make 2, because obviously it says 2 times. You get 2 rods out of each bar. 2 gears out of each bar. And in this case we want 4, so that it'll make 2 batches. And of course we want a bronze spring. And we'll only craft 1 of those. Okay, and what I usually do, which you probably have seen before in other episodes, is I wait till the first ones are built, because then I can pick bronze to make sure that they're doing exactly what I intended them to do. But yeah, this is how you start making your tinkered items. So our doctor, of course, is still... Actually, let's take a look at our doctor, because... Fizzwin. Fizzwin! Fizz? Why can't I look at you? Let's try this again. Fizz? You used to be able to open them up. Open them up that way, so I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong, or if it's a bug, or it was changed. Any case, let's look at Fizz in this way then. What I wanted to show you was the tinkering. Tinkering is now 75. Tinkering goes up very fast when you're running at 2 times speed, and that's all they're doing. So, so Fizzwin, if you look at the tinker bench, yeah, there's something going on here. I probably would want to reload the game at this point. It's not. But since the stream is almost done, I will ignore the issue. Anyway, the tinkering bench, you can already see the progress bar has already moved quite a bit, considering we haven't been letting it run too long since the invention spree occurred. I'm also hoping in the future that in the market stalls, more stuff will become available as you go on. Because basically by the 2nd year, you're able to get everything that is possible. Like it's all in the list. Whether or not you want to purchase it is another question, but it is available. And I would like to see more stuff. It looks like they're planning potentially on adding more types of grain. It would be nice to just see more things that you could buy. Stuff that, each year new stuff becomes available that wasn't there the year before. That would be pretty cool, I think. Right, well, yep, if you take a look there, they have dropped that armor because it's crap, evidently. And Volt, oh, he's all in bronze, that's good. He kind of looked like he wasn't. How about you? Elberg. Okay. So you can see that I probably want to keep some of the poor quality armor because there's apparently more of it than there was of the good. So let's just pause the game. I am going to go to the merchant and we're going to have a look at what do we have here. Okay, so we have 7 total of each, and So we could sell 2 of the breastplates. We can only sell... We could sell up to 4 of the pauldrons, so all of those are fine. We should be able to sell those greaves. Now you see, that one is slightly better. But we should be able to sell that one too, because as long as we're only selling 2 sets, we should be fine. So we can sell 4 of those gauntlets, but not all 7 of them. And we can only sell 4 of those poor bronze boots. Okay, so 2 breastplates. Oh, no, look, see, I was messing up there. We can't sell. We can only sell... No, we can. Okay, I am forgetting that you can... They wear 2 of them. Okay. Right. 3 bronze pauldrons. Max we could sell was 4. Greaves, we're selling 4. We're good. The gauntlets, 4 are 4. So that's what we can trade. So we'll do that. Let's see. Let's buy the copper. Let's buy the tin. And that takes us to way more than... I think we needed tin more than we needed copper, so let's get rid of that. Let's see. 1260, still too much. Let's get rid of 8. 904 and 1100. We're getting closer. Once we're... Okay, 700, so I can put... Oh. Gotta tell her what to put back. Oh. Oops. $940, $904, $920, $904. Right, close enough. Do that trade. Right, so we sold off the majority of our poor quality equipment. So, I'm going to go back to the uniform, and I'm going to set it back to any. So, they're all wearing something on all their parts. But we did get rid of the majority of the garbage. Well, it's not truly garbage because it did protect them. And we got that set to 8. We sold off 2 sets. And so we're going to set this back to 6. 6 sets because we don't want to overtax things. Right. Let's get it going again. Yeah. Well, I think actually, aside from a quick visit to the butcher shop to say butcher that bear corpse. No, actually, no, do not butcher that bear corpse because it is inaccessible. And if we send any gnomes after it, they will be trapped and die of thirst or something. Let's tell them to clean that if they can. Right, they can. Right, so I think that's it. I am going to save the game. Save and exit, actually. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you will be here for next Sunday when I will be live streaming a new game, a more fast-paced game, not a sandbox one, unless I totally change my mind, but I think I'm pretty set on something a little more action-orientated than Gnomoria, just to change things up. So, this is Val. I will see you next Sunday, I hope, and talk to you later. Bye.